So first presentation, ITU radio frequency coordination and what should be done before launching. So before I start, can I ask a quick question? Could you raise hand, like put stamp, if you are planning to launch satellite in 2 years? Only one? Okay, and Mr. John, did you start to the ITU frequency coordination?
Hi, Kurahara-san. I have yet to start, but I'm in the process of reading the IT regulations for the process.
That's good. Well, so that's good to hear. So let me talk why I asked this question. So let's move at this. Thank you, Mr. John, and let me start my presentation. Okay, so you plan to have a satellite launch, and then let me talk about timeline. So maybe before like 3 months of the expected launch date, maybe you want to see everything is ready for your satellite operation, like including satellite, rocket, the operation, regulation, license, everything. And then usually let's say, or in most of the case, we see Earth station radio license takes at least 6 months. There are some countries it takes shorter, but most of the case we saw the 6 months or longer sometimes. And then again, most of the case, ITU frequency coordination takes almost a year, 12 months. That could be shorter, but again, that could be longer. And then before you start ITU frequency coordination, it usually takes like some time to coordinate in your countries. So domestic coordination takes several months. So this is total 2 years journey. So, and then that's why I asked if anyone has a launch planned in 2 years. So this is a long journey, the ITU frequency coordination is. So, however, before 2 years, when you start to do the journey, you need to have these kind of information. So this is the example of the API filing. API is the filing for ITU frequency coordination. And then for this filing, you need to include information, for example, the frequency or service area, which countries you operate your satellite or ground station. And then, of course, you need to include ground station location. Sometimes you don't have to, but if you don't register exact geographical coordination, the later actual coordination with the other countries may take longer. And then the other information you need to include is the RF specifications. So for this part, for this information needs to have bandwidth modulation information as well. So again, before 2 years, you need to have an idea about the information. And then you need to include those information to your filing. So those are the, let's say minimum, the information you need to decide when you start to API filing ITU frequency coordination. So modulation type, so BPSK, QPSK, which modulation you want to use for uplink, downlink. And then frequency range and the bandwidth. So let's say minimum lower frequency and higher upper frequencies and the bandwidth. So at least you need to have this information. And then the another information you need to have is the type of service. I will talk about this later a bit more. And then the ideally ground station coordination. So again, you can say typical like location for ground station. However, that may takes a bit longer time for later coordination with each countries. So here I want to share some the questions often asked. So if ITU filing, so if you don't register file properly, what's happened? What will happen? So if ITU filing doesn't include a country or ground station to be used, so most probably a station licensing process cannot be started. Another question, so you may think, should I include service area countries or ground stations as many as possible? So this is a tricky part. So if you have more included, the coordination may take longer. So the another question, so which country is easy to get the license? So this is the, again, very often asked question. However, it's really difficult to answer because each country situation is different per, each country's situation is different. So some countries is very strict for Earth observation. The other country may be really strict for communication, like SATCOM. So the frequency coordination is the challenging for most of us. So let me talk about a bit of more details. So let's talk about the ITU frequency coordination. So it's good for you, it's good to understand the basic principles of ITU frequency coordination. That makes your life easier. So this is the, let's say, principles. So how international frequency coordination works. So the frequency coordination is done based on the interference control mechanism. So the ITU defines the allocation, means which frequency can be used for which type of service. And then the ITU also defines regulatory protection. We'll talk about this a bit later. And then also the ITU defines power limits. And then based on those mechanism or rules, ITU defines each countries does the coordination. So first, allocation. So the frequencies are allocated based on the type of service. So for example, the Earth observation, often X-band is used for Earth observation data downlink. And then another option could be Ka band, 25 to 27 gigahertz. And then another type of service, so satellite operation. For satellite operation, the S-band is mostly used frequencies. So like this, based on the purpose of communication, which frequency can be used, that is defined by ITU. By the way, the next presenter, Ota-san, present about the current challenge in ITU. In ITU, there is activities to change these allocation rules. So for X-band, mostly use frequency for Earth observation. For this frequency is on the risk at this moment. So Ota-san will present later. Anyway, so let's back to the presentation. So you need to be aware. You need to be aware based on the purpose of the communication. There is a restriction which frequency can be used. So, and then another the things. So regulatory protection. So there is some like rules. So for example, the geostationary satellite service has priority compared to the LEO satellite. So because the geostationary satellite is used for SATCOM or broadcasting. And then that is very important for our life. So some people use the service daily basis. So based on, that's why some service, geostationary service is prioritized. So to secure the operation of the geostationary satellite service, the LEO satellite cannot create harmful interference to geostationary satellite. So those kind of the protection rules, IT also defines. So you also need to be aware about this. And then the next, this is the difficult part to understand everything. But after ITU frequency coordination, you need to do a radio license application. And then the domestic radio license situation is very different per country. So this is the Japan example. So for example, in Japan, for example, to operate satellite, you need to have a satellite radio station license and also ground station license. And then license required per transmitting radio station. So for example, if you have 2 ground stations, different antennas in same location in Japan for same satellite operation, still you need 2 ground station license. And then another point, another key point in Japan, the inspection required at the beginning, but also at certain time of period. So every 1 year or every 2 years or 3 years, you need to have an inspection. And but also there is a good things. So one ground station license could include several satellites operation. Or the receiving only station does not require a license. But still ITU frequency coordination required. Okay, so this is Japanese case, but each country has a different rule something like this. So, and then this is like total like view of the satellite, the frequency coordination work. So another thing you need to be aware is this is the multiplayer related the work. So first, satellite operator needs to create an application, and then the like second columns, it is a work for each country's administrator. So administrator needs to do some work, and then of course that takes some time. And then ITU does their work, and then the other countries, the administrator also needs to do some work, and then in the end, the satellite operator for the other third-party satellite operator needs to also be involved for the frequency coordination. So this is the very long the work, which includes several operators, the organization. Right. So this is my last page for the first presentation. This is a sales presentation. Infostellar supports the ground station license, frequency coordination, and the satellite license. Again, the frequency coordination requires a lot of the know-how and the knowledge, so we can support those process. So that is my last slide.
Now, Naomi-san, thank you for
yes.
the very interesting presentation.